How to be social without draining your energy. Have you ever walked away from a social gathering feeling completely wiped out? Like your body came home, but your soul needed a nap too? You're not alone. As we get older, something shifts. The energy we used to have for long conversations, noisy dinners, or back-to-back events just isn't the same. And that's okay. But here's the thing, being social is still important. We need connection. We need laughter, shared stories, and that warm feeling you get when someone truly sees you. But how do we keep those meaningful connections without feeling drained afterward? That's what we're going to talk about today. Because you deserve friendships that fill you up, not wear you down. Moments that lift your spirit, not steal your peace. And the good news is, you don't have to become a recluse to protect your energy. You just need a few gentle shifts. Let's start with something simple, but powerful. Listen to your body before you say yes. I know, it sounds basic. But let me ask you something. How many times have you agreed to go to something, even though deep down, you felt that quiet little voice whispering, "You're tired today"? Maybe you told yourself, "It's just dinner, I'll be fine." Or, "They'll be disappointed if I don't go." So you push through. Smile. Nod. And come home exhausted. Here's the truth, every time you ignore that inner voice, you're teaching your body that other people's expectations matter more than your well-being. And over time, that takes a toll. So next time, pause. Ask yourself, do I have enough energy for this today? Will this add to my peace or take from it? And if the answer is no, it's okay to bow out with kindness and grace. You don't owe anyone an explanation longer than a sentence. You don't have to defend your boundaries. A simple, "I won't be able to make it, but I hope you have a great time," is more than enough. And speaking of boundaries, let's talk about time limits. You don't need to spend hours at every gathering to feel connected. In fact, some of the most fulfilling moments happen in short, meaningful bursts. A 20-minute coffee chat. A quick phone call just to say, "I was thinking of you." Even a voice message or a handwritten note can spark connection without draining your reserves. One woman I know, her name's Marla, she's 72, lives in Florida, and has this beautiful circle of friends. But she told me something that stuck with me. She said, "I stopped doing full-day outings with my friends because I'd come home and need 2 days to recover. So now, I meet them for brunch, and I leave after an hour and a half, no matter what." And you know what? They respect that. I get to enjoy their company, and I still have energy for the rest of my day. That's wisdom. That's knowing yourself. And that's what I want for you too. Another way to stay social without burning out? Be selective with your people. This isn't about judging anyone. It's about choosing who nourishes your soul and who leaves you feeling empty. You've probably noticed, some folks, when you're around them, you feel lighter. They laugh with you. They see you. They listen. And then there are others. The ones who interrupt, complain nonstop, or never ask how you are. Those relationships, especially as we get older, can weigh heavy. And it's not unkind to step back. It's self-respect. You've earned the right to spend your time with people who make your heart feel full, not people who drain it dry. And no, that doesn't mean cutting everyone out. It just means adjusting the dial. See them less often. Keep interactions shorter. Or simply shift your focus to those who truly get you. And sometimes, especially after 60, that circle gets smaller. That's not a loss. That's a refinement. You're not losing people, you're gaining peace. Now, you might be thinking, but I still want to be there for others. I don't want to seem selfish. And I hear you. But let me tell you something. Taking care of your energy isn't selfish. It's sacred. Because when you protect your peace, you show up better. Your smile is real. Your presence is warm. You're not pretending to enjoy yourself, you actually do. And that's a gift, to you and to those you love. So let's breathe that in for a moment. Being social doesn't mean being available 24/7. It means showing up with heart when it truly matters. It means choosing depth over duration, presence over performance. And that kind of connection? That's the kind that sticks. That's the kind that heals. That's the kind that makes growing older something beautiful, not something to hide from. And sometimes we assume we have to show up in the way we always used to. Back when we were younger, maybe we were the life of the party. The one cracking jokes. The one staying until the very end, helping clean up, making sure everyone got home okay. But life changes. And just because we used to have the energy to do it all, doesn't mean we have to keep proving we can. You're not less kind, less social, or less generous just because you set limits now. You're simply more in tune with who you are and what you need. Let me tell you a little story. There's a gentleman named Roy. He's 68 and volunteers at a local community garden. He told me he used to go to every single neighborhood dinner, every fundraiser, every birthday party. He thought being part of the group meant being everywhere. But the truth? He'd come home and feel resentful, tired, disconnected. It took him a while to realize he was saying yes out of guilt, not joy. So now, Roy does something different. He picks 2 events a month. Just 2. And the rest of the time, he connects with people one-on-one. A walk around the block with his neighbor. A cup of tea on his front porch with an old friend. He said, I may go out less, but when I do, I'm fully there. I laugh more. I listen better. I don't watch the clock. I'm not half in, half wishing I stayed home. And that's the shift. It's not about isolating yourself. It's about showing up as the real you, rested, present, and peaceful. Another way to protect your energy? Create spaces that work for you. Not every connection has to happen in a loud room or a crowded restaurant. Sometimes, a quiet space makes all the difference. Maybe it's your living room, with soft music and your favorite mug in hand. Maybe it's a walk in the park, where the conversation flows naturally with each step. When you invite someone into a space that nurtures you, you're setting the tone. You're telling your body, it's safe here. And the beauty is, people often follow your lead. They soften. They match your pace. And the interaction becomes gentler, more real. It's like lighting a candle instead of flipping on the overhead. The atmosphere shifts. And so does the energy. There's also something powerful about being honest. You don't have to pretend you're up for everything. You don't have to fake a smile or stretch yourself thin just to keep up appearances. You can say, I'd love to catch up, but I'm better in the mornings these days. Or, I'm free for about an hour, that's my sweet spot lately. The more you speak from truth, the more others feel safe to do the same. And suddenly, you're not performing anymore. You're simply being. And that's where real connection lives. Not in the hustle. Not in the noise. But in the calm, quiet spaces where both people feel seen and heard. Sometimes, we forget that emotional energy can be just as draining as physical energy. You might not be dancing or running around, but if you're constantly managing someone else's feelings, constantly listening to rants, or walking on eggshells, that adds up. So give yourself permission to notice how you feel after you see someone. Are you uplifted? Or do you feel like you need to lie down and not speak to a soul for 2 days? That's your body talking. That's your spirit speaking. And it's worth listening to. You can love someone deeply and still recognize that their presence is heavy. You can care about someone and still know they're not the best fit for where you are right now. Your energy is not an unlimited resource. It needs to be protected, nurtured, respected, just like any other part of your health. And that brings me to something many of us forget. Rest is not just something you earn, it's something you're allowed to choose. You don't have to wait until you hit the wall. You can build in little moments of pause before you feel overwhelmed. A few minutes of deep breathing after a conversation. A cup of tea by yourself before heading out. Even just sitting in silence, letting your thoughts settle. These tiny rituals act like little energy chargers. They refill the tank. They give you space to return to yourself before giving more of yourself away. Because at the end of the day, connection is a two-way street. It shouldn't cost you more than you're able to give. And it definitely shouldn't leave you feeling empty. You're not here to be everything to everyone. You're here to be real. To share your heart. To enjoy the time you have with people who truly see you. Not just need you. And when you build your life around that kind of intention, you begin to notice something beautiful. Your energy lasts longer. Your joy feels deeper. And your relationships grow more honest, more balanced, more fulfilling. And sometimes, this may surprise you, but the most powerful social habit you can develop after 60 is silence. Not the kind that shuts people out, but the kind that gives your soul space to breathe. You don't always have to fill the air with words. You don't always have to be on. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments happen in the quiet. Sitting side by side with someone you trust, saying nothing at all. Just watching the birds outside the window or sipping tea together in peace can be more nourishing than an hour-long conversation. When you let go of the pressure to entertain, to perform, to keep the mood up, you give yourself room to simply exist in connection. And that is the kind of connection that feeds you rather than drains you. I once met a woman named Clara, 74, who hosts a silent supper once a month. She invites 2 or 3 friends over, they share a home-cooked meal, and for the first 30 minutes, no one speaks. Just eating. Just being. Just enjoying the moment. She told me, it's amazing how much calmer we all feel. And when we do start talking, it's more thoughtful, more present. We're not rushing. We're not trying to impress. We're just there. Isn't that beautiful? Being social doesn't have to mean talking more. Sometimes, it's about being more fully there. And the last thing I want to share with you is this. Give yourself permission to change. You may have been the extrovert once. You may have loved the big gatherings, the group travel, the non-stop social calendar. And now? Maybe that's changed. Maybe crowds make you tired. Maybe you crave quiet. Maybe you long for deeper, slower, softer. That doesn't mean you're fading. That doesn't mean you're becoming less. It means you're evolving. And evolution is a sign of wisdom. Of growth. Of grace. You're not who you were at 30. You're not supposed to be. You've seen more. You've felt more. You know what matters. And your version of being social today might look like writing a thoughtful letter. Or joining a book club where you listen more than you speak. Or simply sitting at the park and exchanging a warm smile with someone passing by. That counts. That's enough. You are enough. Because connection isn't about how much time you spend with people. It's about the quality of that time. It's about how you feel during and after. So if you're someone who's been wondering whether you're too quiet these days, whether you're missing out, or whether your desire for solitude means something's wrong with you, I want you to hear this with your whole heart. There is nothing wrong with you. You're just finally honoring your own rhythm. And that is something to celebrate, not question. In a world that pushes more noise, more doing, more showing up, you're choosing something radical. Presence. Peace. And the kind of relationships that fit the person you are today. That's not stepping back. That's stepping into yourself. So let this be your gentle reminder. You don't have to go to every event. You don't have to answer every phone call. You don't have to keep people in your life just because they've been there forever. You get to choose now. You get to design a life that feels good on the inside, even if it looks different on the outside. And if you found even just one person who makes you feel safe, who listens without fixing, who laughs with you without judgment, hold on to that. That is rare. That is sacred. And if you haven't found them yet, keep being yourself. The right people always find the light. Before we end today, I want to thank you for giving this time to yourself. For choosing to reflect, to pause, and to listen to your inner wisdom. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What are your ways of staying social without feeling drained? Let's learn from each other. And if you'd like more gentle, honest conversations like this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more people who might need a little encouragement, a little inspiration, and a reminder that growing older can be a deeply beautiful thing. Here's to you, to your energy, to your peace, and to creating a life that feels light, loving, and real. You deserve it. You always have.